I am Anjan Kumar Bhuiya from the Department of Mathematics, Vishwabharati. Today we start first module of the first chapter. In this module, we will discuss external direct product of groups. Given two groups G1 and G2, here we will define a suitable binary operation on the Cartesian product G1 cross G2, so that G1 cross G2 forms a group. This is a very useful technique to study structure of finite groups. In fact, this is used to express a finite group as a direct product of better known subgroups. Also, to generate new groups from given old, this is very useful. If we want to construct an infinite non-commutative group, then we see that the product of an infinite group and a finite non-commutative group will give us an example of an infinite non-commutative group. In this module, you will see different interesting features of the external direct product of groups. First, let us consider K4 cross Z. K4 is the Klein's 4 group whose elements are E, A, B, C, and Z is the group of all integers with respect to addition. Now, we want to define a binary operation on this set G. As you know, we can define a binary operation on every countable set, so that it forms a group which is isomorphic to Z, any countably infinite set. But this is not the context. Certainly, here we would like to define such a binary operation star on this set G, so that it is related to the product in K4 as well as to the addition in Z in a meaningful sense. So, naturally, if we take the product of AM and BM component wise, that is AM star BM is equal to AB, and the second component is M plus N. Since A and B are two elements of K4 and there is already a product in K4, we can use the same product to get AB, and since M and N are two elements of Z and already there is an addition, we can define the second component as M plus N. So, we do not know whether this will form a group or not, but you must agree with me that the newly defined binary operation star is closely related to the product in K4 and addition in Z in some meaningful sense. Now, we see that in fact G forms a group with respect to this operation. Associativity follows directly, actually associativity follows from that of K4 and Z, and you can check that the identity element will be E0, where E is the identity element of K4, and note that 0 is the identity element of Z, that is Z plus, and inverse of an will be inverse of A and inverse of n. As you know, every element of K4 is of order 2, and so inverse of A is A and inverse of n is minus n. Thus, inverse of the pair an in G with respect to the binary operation star is the pair A minus n. Now, we generalize this to a product of n groups. Consider n groups G1, G2, Gn. Now, we define a binary operation star on the Cartesian product G of these n groups G1, G2, Gn. Naturally, we will define the binary operation star on G by A1, A2 up to An star B1, B2 up to Bn is equal to the n tuple whose first element is A1 into B1 and the second element is A2 into B2 and the nth element is An into Bn. You must notice that though I have written all the n components as A1 B1, A2 B2, but A1 into B1 does not have the same meaning as A2 into B2, as you have seen in the previous example. Here A1 into B1 means product of A1 and B1 in G1, and A2 into B2 means they are related by the binary operation considered in G2, and similar meaning for An into Bn. Now, it is easy to check that G star is a group with the identity element E is equal to the n tuple E1, E2 up to En, where Ei is the identity element of the group Gi, and naturally the inverse A1, A2 up to An is equal to A1 inverse, A2 inverse up to An inverse. Thus, we have a binary operation star on G so that their Cartesian product becomes a group. We call this group G with respect to star the external direct product of the groups G1, G2, Gn. Why external? I will define in the next module another product of groups which we call internal direct product of groups. Anyway, now let us consider an example S3 cross Z9. So, the identity element of this group will be the pair whose first element is the identity element of S3, let us denote it by E, and the second component will be the identity element of Z9, that is 0, box 0. Now, can you find inverse of the pair whose first element is 1, 2, that is transposition 1, 2, and the second component is box 4. Recall that inverse of the transposition 1, 2 in S3 is 1, 2, and in Z9 box 4 plus box 5 is equal to 0 implies that box 5 is the inverse of box 4, and hence inverse of the pair 1, 2, 4 becomes 1, 2, 5. Similarly, since inverse of box 2 in Z9 is box 7 and inverse of 1, 2, 3 in S3 is 1, 3, 2, we have 1, 2, 3 and box 2 inverse is equal to 1, 3, 2 box 7. Now, note that this is a non-commutative group. You can take the product of the two elements 1, 2, 4 and 1, 3 box 7 and check that their product are not same. Now, I will give an example of an infinite non-commutative group. If you are asked for an example of an infinite non-commutative group, then I think all of you will feel free to give the example GL2R, that is the group of all 2 by 2 real invertible matrices. And if further you are asked to give another example, then you will try to give an example of a subgroup of this group. Here I will construct an example of an infinite non-commutative group with the help of our known groups Z and S3. If you consider the Cartesian product of S3 and Z, because Z is infinite, so Cartesian product of S3 and Z is an infinite set. Since S3 is non-commutative, so as you seen in the previous example, S3 cross Z is also a non-commutative group. Thus, we blend here non-commutativity of S3 and infiniteness of Z together in the group S3 cross Z, and thus we have an example of an infinite non-commutative group which is S3 cross Z. And similarly, using the finite non-commutative group S3 and any infinite group, you can get a new infinite non-commutative group. Thus, we see that in the Cartesian product G1 cross G2, if either G1 is non-commutative or G2 is non-commutative, then G1 cross G2 is a non-commutative group. Is the converse true? In the subsequent slides, we will characterize commutativity of the Cartesian product. Also, characterize the cyclic Cartesian products, that is the product of cyclic groups cyclic? First, we prove that H cross K is isomorphic to K cross H. For this, define F from H cross K into K cross H by F HK is equal to KH for all HK in H cross K. Then, from the definition, it follows that F is 1 to 1 and onto. Now, to check whether F is a homomorphism. For this, let me first distinguish the operations on H cross K and K cross H. For this problem, let me denote the operation on H cross K by star 1 and operation on K cross H by star 2. So, f H1 K1 star 1 H2 K2 is equal to f of H1 H2 K1 K2, which is equal to K1 K2 H1 H2, and if we consider the product over K cross H, then get K1 H1 star 2 K2 H2, and hence this is equal to f of H1 K1 star 2 f H2 K2. Thus, f is an isomorphism. Also note that if EH is the identity of H and EK is the identity of K, then EH, EK is the identity of H cross K, and EK, EH is the identity of K cross H. Note that F maps EH, EK into EK, EH. Now we show that given n groups G1, G2, Gn, their Cartesian product G1 cross G2 cross up to cross Gn is abelian if and only if each Gi is abelian. First, assume that the Cartesian product is abelian. We are to prove that every Gi is abelian. Consider Gi and two arbitrary elements A, B from Gi. We are to show that AB is equal to BA. Consider two elements from the Cartesian products, namely E1 so on EI minus 1 A, EI plus 1 so on En. That is, the ith component is A and all other components are the identity element of the corresponding group. And we consider the second element of the Cartesian product as the ith component is B and all other components are the identity element of the corresponding group. So, since the Cartesian product is abelian, they commutes, and which implies that the n tuple with the ith component AB is equal to the n tuple having the ith component BA. From the definition of equality of n tuples, we have AB is equal to BA. Since A and B are arbitrary elements of Gi, so Gi becomes abelian, and since I is arbitrary, so every Gi is abelian. And for the converse, consider two arbitrary elements from the Cartesian product and consider the product A1, A2 up to An into B1, B2 up to Bn, which is equal to A1, B1, A2, B2 up to An, Bn. Since every Gi is abelian, we can write A1, B1 is equal to B1, A1, A2, B2 is equal to B2, A2, and An, Bn is equal to Bn, An. Again, I would like to remind you that A1, B1 and A2, B2 do not have the same meaning. A1 into B1 is the product of G1 and A2 into B2 is the product of G2. Some of them may be product, some of them may be addition, some of them may be star and etc. But since each Gi is abelian, we can write A1 B1 is equal to B1 A1, A2 B2 is equal to B2 A2 and An Bn is equal to Bn An. So, it is very important that each Gi is abelian, and hence we get B1 B2 up to Bn into A1 A2 up to An. Thus, the Cartesian product becomes a commutative group. Now, we show that as a generalization of the previous result, that center of the group G1 cross G2 is equal to center of the group G1 cross center of the group G2. We have a pair AB is in the center of G1 cross G2 if and only if AB commutes with every G1 G2 in G1 cross G2. If and only if A G1 B G2 is equal to the pair G1A G2B, and this is true for all G1 G2 in G1 cross G2, and this is equivalent to A G1 equal to G1A and B G2 is equal to G2B for all G1 in G1 and every element G2 in the group G2, which is equivalent to A belongs to ZG1 and B belongs to ZG2. That is, the pair AB is in ZG1 cross ZG2. Thus, we have the result. What about the product of cyclic groups? Is the product of two cyclic groups a cyclic group? Here we will show that the external direct product of the cyclic groups Z4 and Z6 is not a cyclic group. Recall that a finite group G is a cyclic group if and only if it has an element having order same as the number of elements in the group G. So, for Z4 cross Z6 to be a cyclic group, we have to show that it contains an element of order 24. Now we show that no element of Z4 cross Z6 can have order more than 12, and it will prove that Z4 cross Z6 is not a cyclic group. So, consider an arbitrary element box A, box B from Z4 cross Z6. Then 12 times box A, box B is equal to box 12A and box 12B. Since 12 is divisible by 4, so box 12A in Z4 becomes the 0 element, and similarly box 12B becomes the 0 element of Z6. Thus, we see that 12 times box A, box B is the identity element of the group Z4 cross Z6. So, every element of this group is of order less than equal to 12. Also, this example gives us a hope that the group Zm cross Zn may be cyclic if LCM of Mn is equal to M into N, that is equal to the order of the group Zm cross Zn. Since we have the result that every cyclic group of order M is isomorphic to Zm, so we have this result. Let G1 and G2 be two finite cyclic groups of order M and N respectively. Then their Cartesian product G1 cross G2 is cyclic if and only if M and N are relatively prime. Moreover, in this case, pair AB is a generator of the Cartesian product G1 cross G2 if and only if A is a generator of G1 and B is a generator of G2. Actually, this gives generators of the group G1 cross G2. So, let us prove the first part. First, we assume that the Cartesian product G1 cross G2 is a cyclic group and it is generated by the pair AB. So, the order of the pair AB is equal to the order of the group G1 cross G2, that is equal to Mn. We are to show that M and N are relatively prime, that is their GCD is 1. Suppose D is the GCD of M and N. Now, the pair AB to the power Mn by D is equal to A to the power Mn by D, B to the power Mn by D. Rewrite A to the power Mn by D as A to the power M whole to the power N by D. Since D is the GCD of Mn, notice that N by D is an integer as well as M by D is also an integer. Thus, we get this is equal to E1 E2, which implies that Mn divides Mn by D, but this is possible only when t equal to 1. Thus, it follows that the integers M and N are relatively prime. For the converse, let GCD of Mn be equal to 1. Suppose that G1 is the cyclic group generated by A and G2 is the cyclic group generated by B. Denote K is equal to the order of the pair AB. We will prove that K is equal to Mn, and thus it will be proved that the Cartesian product G1 cross G2 contains an element pair AB of order Mn, and hence G1 cross G2 is a cyclic group. So, to prove K equal to Mn, note that AB whole to the power Mn is equal to A to the power Mn, B to the power Mn is equal to E1 E2, because A is of order M and B is of order N. Since order of AB is denoted by K, so it follows that K divides Mn. Now, we show that Mn divides K. For this, A to the power K, B to the power K is equal to the pair AB to the power K. Since the order of AB is K, so this is equal to the identity element E1 E2 of G1 cross G2, and this implies that A to the power K equal to E1 and B to the power K equal to E2. Since order of A is equal to M, so M divides K, similarly N divides K. Also, we have Mn are relatively prime and hence their product Mn divides K. Therefore, K equal to Mn and the result follows. And as a corollary, we have if GCD Mn equal to 1, then Zm cross Zn is a cyclic group of order Mn and hence it is isomorphic to Zmn. The converse also follows from the previous theorem. Now, what is the order of an arbitrary element in G1 cross G2? Consider an arbitrary element AB from the Cartesian product G1 cross G2. Then N will be the order of AB if and only if it is the smallest positive integer such that AB to the power N is equal to E1 E2, the identity element of G1 cross G2. This is equivalent to N is the smallest positive integer such that A to the power N is equal to E1 and B to the power N equal to E2, which is equivalent to N is the smallest positive integer such that order of A divides N and order of B divides N, and hence it follows that order of AB is equal to LCM of order A order B. Now, What about product of infinite cyclic groups? We have already characterized a necessary and sufficient condition when product of two finite cyclic groups becomes a cyclic group. Here we show that product of infinite cyclic groups is not a cyclic group. Recall that every infinite cyclic group is isomorphic to Z. So, it is better to consider Z cross Z. We show that Z cross Z is not a cyclic group. On the contrary, if possible, let Z cross Z is cyclic and it is generated by AB. Then the element 1 1 of Z cross Z is R times of AB for some integer R, which implies that RA is equal to 1 and RB is equal to 1, and this implies that either A equal to B equal to 1 or A equal to B equal to minus 1. Then the cyclic subgroup generated by AB is actually equal to the diagonal subgroup, that is the collection of all n where n is an integer, and certainly this is not equal to Z cross Z. This contradiction shows that Z cross Z is not a cyclic group. Thus we see that product of infinite cyclic groups is never a cyclic group. Now we consider quotient of the product of groups. As you know, to get a quotient we must have some normal subgroups. So, it is necessary to characterize the subgroup of the product of groups. Here I will give a result in which we will express the quotient of a Cartesian product G1 cross G2 in terms of quotient of G1 and quotient of G2. Let G1 and G2 be two groups and N1, N2 normal subgroups of G1 and G2 respectively. Then N1 cross N2 is a normal subgroup of G1 cross G2, and the quotient of G1 cross G2 by N1 cross N2 is isomorphic to the product of G1 by N1 and G2 by N2. Define a mapping F from G1 cross G2 into G1 by N1 cross G2 by N2 by FAB is equal to AN1 BN2. I will show that F is an onto homomorphism and then use the first isomorphism theorem to prove the result. First, to prove that F is a homomorphism, FAB star CD is equal to F of ACBD, which is equal to ACN1 BDN2, which is equal to AN1 CN1 BN2 DN2, and this is equal to the pair AN1 BN2 star the pair CN1 DN2, which is equal to FAB star FCD. Thus, the mapping F becomes a homomorphism. Also, it follows from the definition that F is onto. So, by the first isomorphism theorem we have G1 cross G2 by kernel F is isomorphic to G1 by N1 cross G2 by N2. Now we show that kernel F is actually equal to N1 cross N2. Now AB belongs to car F if and only if FAB equal to N1 N2, that is A N1 B N2 is equal to N1 N2, that is A N1 equal to N1 and B N2 equal to N2, that is A belongs to N1 and B belongs to N2, that is AB belongs to N1 cross N2. Since every kernel of some homomorphism is a normal subgroup, it follows that N1 cross N2 is also a normal subgroup of G1 cross G2, and we have G1 cross G2 by N1 cross N2 is isomorphic to G1 by N1 cross G2 by N2. Thus, it becomes important to ask whether every normal subgroup N of G1 cross G2 is of the form N1 cross N2, where N1 is a normal subgroup of G1 and N2 is a normal subgroup of G2. Unfortunately, this is not so. Denote the diagonal subgroup of Z cross Z by D. Then, as you see, you can check D cannot be expressed as N1 cross N2. Can you guess about the quotient group Z cross Z by D? Please do it.